We moved here in 1975, and before that I was pastor out in California, in Northern California, for about 4.5 years, and we moved back into this area. And then I served that congregation of St. John Lutheran Church south of Archbold, 5 miles south of Archbold, for 38 years. And then I retired in 2013.
When he retired, they built a home here in town. Now he's got connections in California, Michigan, children all over. And he came here, which I think is a fine tribute to this little community.
Dale's been chaplain here for a little over a year. He started as an interim, and it was interesting. We had many residents that would come up to us and say, "You need to hire him on a regular basis. We love him. He does a wonderful job here." And so we were very happy to do that.
You know, he was that person that you could always go to if there was something you weren't sure of, there was a situation you didn't know how to handle, there was any struggle you were going through, and he always had time. He's always been someone, and I think to this day, if I ever had an issue, I know I could go to him and he'd say, "Come on in, let's talk about this."
One of our new congregation members had mentioned that coming to church felt like a big warm hug. And a lot of that was because of Pastor and Marcia and how they welcome people that they didn't know.
They have no children or grandchildren in Archbold, but you still see them at basketball games and football games, and that's just the kind of parents and grandparents they are. And I think they've been a really good role model for us and our marriage and for our family.
They kind of come as a team. Marcia and Pastor, they're together all the time, and they function as one, I think, about as well as anybody could.
It's funny because there's more than one time that he'll bring up in a sermon, "Well, I was going to do this, but Marcia told me I better not say this, or I better not do this." So I think there's a lot of input from Marcia, and you can see that there's just a ton of love in that relationship. Just the way they work together, and they're at the church. When they were at the church, they would work together, and it was just awesome.
Well, individually, I just like to be with people. I'm a very social person, so there are a lot of different activities one can do with people, and I like to do those things in terms of service and ministry.
He was very active in the Black Swamp Arts Council. He and I served together in the Archbold Area Ministerial Association, and he could have been just I'll sit here and I'll attend these meetings. But no, he was involved in what should we do, what would be the best for the community. And I think those are the things that make him a Citizen of the Year, how he enhanced what we already were doing.
I don't know how long he's been in Rotary, but ever since I've been involved, and when I was Rotary president, he worked on the team with me, and he was one of our folks that worked with service, and so the community meals and some of the other service projects we did at Rotary, he facilitated.
For 3.5 years, I was president of the congregation, so Pastor Kern and I worked hand in hand, and when he had goals, he wanted to reach them too. It wasn't a matter of let's set goals and see how many we can reach. If we set 10, he wanted to reach 10. He wanted to make sure that, and they had to be 10 that were going to, again, benefit the congregation as a whole, not one group over another.
If you think of the term servant leader, it's someone who's putting the interests of community, family, faith as priorities, and that's what he does.
Well, responsibilities is to be involved in the activities of the community, looking at ways in which you can serve people and help the community feel like it's a community, a togetherness, a fellowship of helping each other and serving each other and caring for each other and looking after each other, which is one of the powerful things, especially in a rural community. People really take care of their needs. If there's a disaster, for sure, everybody just pitches in and says, let's help out.
Choosing Dale as Citizen of the Year just really lifts up and embodies what Archbold is and what we as fellow Archboldians represent. He was involved in our Archbold 150th celebration and worked to help do that. He led the Rotary in facilitating the big parade that we had. And again, he just encouraged everyone to participate and have a wonderful time while we did provide service to the community.
Everybody that has been Citizen of the Year does something outside, way over and above what the normal job would have them do. Pastor's character fits in really well. He's a servant, but he does everything with a lot of caring.
He just makes it work, and that is a quality, most of us say, oh, I'm not very good with names, and we just sort of take that as an excuse. He does not allow himself to have that excuse. He knows their name, and he knows what makes them tick.
What impression do I have of Dale Kern? If you can't get along with Dale Kern and you can't see the care and compassion from Dale Kern, there's not something wrong with Pastor Kern, there's something wrong with you.